our regular weekly updates about AI. A lot of things happening, and first I want to talk about two interesting interviews. One, Elon Musk about AI progress, and another with Dario Amodei, who is CEO of Anthropic, which is a Claude series of models. This is a very lengthy interview with him. It's more than 5 hours and very interesting. And Lex Friedman, he separately published some small pieces, short pieces from this interview. So I highly recommend watch on YouTube. Very illuminating. Like one of the things was he answered the question why he left OpenAI, because he was at OpenAI for 5 years and he was doing research together with Ilya Sutskever. So he was in the foundation of all these things. And then he left, and it's not because of relationship AI and Microsoft. It's because he simply thought that the way to develop models which are smarter and safer is not what OpenAI was doing. So he saw another way, and he said, well, you need to pursue the truth in your heart, like the way, because you'll be just wasting time if you'll be in the system which does something different. So this is really interesting interview. So he talks about the scale, that scaling is still works. So bigger models, more data, more compute, focus on responsible scaling, safety and societal impact. Anthropic, if you don't know, even a year ago, he was explaining how Anthropic trains their models. They have constitutional training, so they have certain principles. And when the model is being trained, it's not only that a response should be correct, but it's also, there is another model which evaluates the response if it complies with certain, well, regulations, so to speak. So it's not like a censorship applied to the already trained model. No, it's this principle injected in the model during the training to make it safe. So focus on responsible scaling, emphasis on ecosystem-wide safety, importance of small, highly skilled team. So he explains that a small number of really good people is much better than big team. So density versus mass. Chris also emphasizes the importance of understanding the inner workings of neural networks, mechanistic interpretability, not just for safety, but also for appreciating the inherent beauty and complexity within these systems. Amodei expresses concern about the potential for AI to exacerbate existing power imbalances, economic inequality. He believes that while AI could enhance meaning in life, its primary threat lies in potential to misuse and concentration of power. Anyway, this is very interesting interview. And then interview with Elon Musk. Yes, it was already, when was it? Was it in October? I don't remember. It's 2 hours long with Tucker Carlson. It's a very good interview. Well, Ellen was talking about things he always talking, that AI is growing very fast. It's potential threat to humanity. That's why he established OpenAI, like historically, and even named it OpenAI. Most important thing for AI safety to have truth-seeking AI. Current trend is to program AI can produce lies, so this is something he wants to fix. Musk is also concerned that AI is being developed by people who are not trustworthy. Okay, this is Sam Altman, and that there's no way to stop AI if it becomes out of control. In a benign AI scenario, the biggest challenge will be finding meaning in the world where AI is better than humans at everything. And Musk believes that we should try to install good values in AI. Well, that's what Anthropic is doing, but that ultimately we may not be able to control it. Interesting. So Elon Musk is now all over because he is a major advisor to the newly elected president. It looks like he'll be co-lead the department which is supposed to increase efficiency. So he's talking about it like there are more than 400 agencies and nobody knows what they're doing and why they exist. I wonder if he will be using AI to advise him, like on 80-20 principle, which agencies to remove or merge together and how they will approach this. Yeah, but it's interesting. Next topic is Qwen series of models. So this is China, this is Alibaba, and Qwen is excellent model. And so the recent ones is Qwen 2.5 and Qwen 2.5 Coder. In the Qwen 2.5, especially Qwen 2.5 72B instruct, this is the largest ones. You see they come with different sizes in billion parameters, starting from 500 million, 1.5, 3, 7, 14, 32, and 72 billion parameters. For Coder, so it's basically the same model, but specifically tuned for coding. So it understands 92 programming languages. They both have 128 kilotokens context length. And for Coda, the maximum length is 32 billion parameters. So currently, this Coda is the state-of-the-art open source model. So it is on the level with GPT-4o, which is absolutely amazing. And by the way, when we will look at the coding OpenArena leaderboard, so you see that's the current results for coding. On the top, we have O1 Mini, Preview, GPT-4o, and do we have this 2.5 coder yet? I'm not sure. I see DeepSeek coder. I don't see 2.5 yet. But it just appeared. It's a new thing. So maybe next week we'll see it. Anyway, so this is a very good model. And if you're thinking about using a model locally, Qwen is the best. We were testing different models in June and then in this fall, and Qwen is always the best. So it's much better than Llama, much better than anything else. Okay, AI updates, predicted outputs. So this is something from OpenAI, and this is an interesting methodology. So when you asking a question, when you're giving a prompt, you provide the answer. You kind of predict, you tell the model how the answer should look, and then the model fills in the blanks. And what they proved that the speed of giving the answer is like 2 to 4 times faster. So it is great for making small changes in big data sets, articles, but not ideal for generating completely new content, of course, because you already give it the template. But this is very useful techniques. So if you can do it, use it. Ada, so it's ada.chat. So what they have, it's not free, it's $10 for a month, but this is a chat which allows you to work with multiple models from the same interface. So it may be a very good service for somebody who needs something like that. So access top AI models and image generators like Claude, GPT-4, Llama, Midjourney, DALL-E, and others. Okay, Nous research. Well, they are famous for the Hermes model. So now they're introducing Nous Chat and Forge Reasoning API, and it's open source, user-friendly, enhances reasoning, uses Monte Carlo tree search and chain of code. Interesting. So I will talk later in some other news, but it looks like when system answering, it has to find the answer, so it needs to search through its knowledge. And there are multiple techniques which are used. So this is, again, something many researchers are working on. OpenAI status. Simply making models bigger and feeding them more data may not lead to expected intelligence gains. Orion performance may not be a revolutionary leap forward that was anticipated. Well, my understanding is that Orion is a model which is trained using the Strawberry, which is O1, and it's not supposed to be much better. It's supposed to be inexpensive, fast, and like the main workhorse of OpenAI. But anyway, data scarcity. OpenAI is reportedly running low on high quality data, so they using more and more synthetic data, which has potential drawbacks like inbreeding effects or model collapse when the model eats like its own outputs and becomes worse than the original model. OpenAI is shifting its focus to improving models after initial training using techniques like reinforcement learning and human feedback. Well, they were doing this before, but it's becoming more and more important. They're also prioritizing reasoning abilities. Yes. The future of AI might lie in specialized tools rather than one general purpose AI. This means developing smaller, more focused models for specific tasks. Well, we definitely see that in our work. For example, if you have pipeline of tasks and each task uses AI, different models may be better on different steps depending on what they're doing. So you end up using like several models in the same pipeline. The AI field is maturing, moving beyond simple task automation to enhancing human capabilities. Okay, OpenAI introduced something called a operator agent. They will show it in January, probably for preview. And what it is an agent to substitute you on the computer. So it can do coding, it can do web browsing, shopping, booking travel, background monitoring, looking at your emails, replying to messages, and so on. So that's there are companies, startups which provide these services, but now it looks like things like that will be coming from major players like OpenAI and Anthropic and so on. Also, OpenAI has Swarm, which is a multi-agent collaborative systems, and so yeah, this will work all together. AI beats humans on ARC benchmark. This is amazing. So we spoke about ARC benchmark last time. So this is an unusual test where models look at those patterns, and these patterns are given as tuples of text and numbers. And models need to understand how to solve them. So, for example, it receives this and this, this and this, this and this, and then looking at this pattern, it needs to figure out what to do and construct this pattern. Well, from looking here, it looks like it fills internal empty spaces with the yellow color. So I guess that's what it needs to do. But it needs to figure it out, and it was not trained, like large language models are not trained on systems like that. So there is new research from MIT, and they created actually a model which understands these patterns better than humans. This is the first time. This is huge. This is absolutely amazing. And they're using a technique called test time training that significantly improves. This method involves temporarily adjusting the model's parameters during the test itself, using a kind of search process to find the most consistent and likely correct answers. So the model which was used is small, only 8 billion parameters, but they achieved a score which is better than humans. This suggests AI systems can now exhibit a level of abstract reasoning comparable or even surpassing humans. This is a huge breakthrough. Okay, ability to reason and solve novel problems as demonstrated by ARC benchmark is a crucial step towards AGI, right? Artificial General Intelligence. Search is the key component. The video emphasizes the importance of search algorithms in achieving AGI. This involves AI systems exploring different possibilities and solutions similar to how human thinks, rather than simply relying on memorized patterns. Current AI search methods are still less efficient than human, but they're getting better. Okay, another research also coming from MIT, what they were doing, they were measuring how the productivity of scientists, of researchers improve when they can use AI tools. So 1,000 scientists and you see productivity increased, material discovered 44%, patent filings 300%, and product innovation 177%. So this is, yes, this is a huge again. That's what I'm telling all the software engineers. Guy, if you're not using AI, you're losing. Okay, AI advancements plateauing. There was a lot of noise that OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic reportedly facing difficulties in achieving significant performance leaps. And possible reasons, well, not enough compute resources, available not enough data, and algorithmic breakthroughs. Okay, Greg Brockman, who is one of the original co-founders of OpenAI, he went on several months leave, about half a year, but now he returned, and so he is the president and co-founder, and it's not clear what will happen. So he is still in negotiations to figure out his continuing role in OpenAI. But if you will leave, then Sam Altman will be the only one out of all the original founders of OpenAI. Anyway, Microsoft Tiny Troop, an experimental Python library for simulating interactions between AI agents with distinct personalities and goals. AlphaFold 3 was outsourced. So this is coming from Google DeepMind. It's a protein structure prediction system. So now it is open source. Waymo Robotaxi. Well, this is a project sponsored by Google, and well, the venture money is led by Google, and they're expanding their services, so they're consistently growing. Meta Ray-Ban AI glasses received some important updates. So now they can understand voice commands, do video sharing, and chatbot interactions. Taiwan TSMC, this is the uh, company which produces chips, right? And they have some facilities in America here, on continental America, but there's a new regulation, so they are not allowed to produce the latest technology, 2 nanometer chips, outside of Taiwan. So what happened recently, we spoke last week that American production is become bigger than that in Taiwan, but now you see it's being restricted. Amazon is developing its own AI chips, so they don't want to be dependent on NVIDIA. Codeium. So Codeium is an open source project. So they were providing extension to Visual Studio Code, which kind of like a cursor. So it is AI, like Copilot, to help you do the coding inside the editor. They did some major upgrades, and now, along with the free extension, they also provide paid versions. They created a standalone application which you can download, which is called Windsurf. And they have now AI working on several levels. So it can do simple Copilot functionality, or it can do more complex, like what agents can do, which is building application from scratch, editing multiple files at the same time, refactoring your whole code base. They use multiple models, and depending how much money you pay, you'll get access to better models. So you see multi-file editing capabilities, deep contextual awareness. Also, what's interesting, it does it in real time. So as you do the editing, it actually follows what you're doing. Okay, Microsoft Notepad and Paint. So these are standard Windows applications. Now they have AI. It is in preview. So Notepad, new rewrite feature. So you see how you can take the picture and add a castle, for example, right? So you can do generative fill in Paint or generative erase. Uh, anyway, Google creating games using AI. So you can describe what kind of game you want. They generated, they achieved consistency of their characters, and they're using small models, which is again quite an achievement. Next is Meta robotics. So you see, this is artificial arm, and it has tips of fingers, which now have touch perception, right? So tactile sensor to mimic human finger, developed the whole platform for testing and everything. Very interesting progress here. Now, the company allhands.dev, so they have OpenHands and specifically CodeAct 2.1 agent. So it's used for coding, function calling, beta coding, directory navigation, Python and Bash commands, requires Docker to install it, but it's open source. So it's an open source platform which you can use, and it can build full stack web applications like AI chatbot. So you can look at that as well. Okay, AIRIS by SingularityNET. New self-learning AI tested in Minecraft. So Ben Goertzel is the main person. So he is famous. Remember this Sophia robot? Like he was one of people who developed it. So AIRIS does not require preset rules or training data. It learns by interacting with the environment, utilizes neural symbolic learning to form generalizable conclusions from small amounts of data. The AI is designed to be transparent, allowing developers to understand decision-making process. The goal is to eventually transfer AIRIS skills to real-world applications like robotics and smart home assistants. So there is a good conversation with Lex Friedman, and SingularityNET is also working on a decentralized network of supercomputers for AGI. So remarkable person, very interesting project. Next, investing in AI. So there are three major lines of investments. Hardware infrastructure, which is chips, data centers, and power. Foundational models, like core AI models, training, which is very, very expensive. And multiple applications, software and services built on top of AI. Okay, I didn't provide the link, but whatever, these are the main ideas. Okay, UV package manager. I'm really excited. My son told me about it. I looked at it. So what it is, if you're programming in Python, are you familiar with like pip install something? Or maybe you're using venv, or maybe you're using poetry. UV is yet another package manager which is 100 times better than previous ones. It's written in Rust. It's amazingly fast. It like does everything you need. So easy to use. I really, really highly recommend you to look into it. So of course it's open source. And yeah, this is some commands here. This is github.com/astral/sh/uv. So you go here and you see the speed up. So here you see pip, and this small one is UV. So this is the time to do certain operations. So you see almost 5 seconds, and here you have 0.06 seconds. So it's what, 100 times? Yeah, 100 times faster. Amazing. Next, Shuhari. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I saw it in one of the newsletters I received, and I just want to mention it. So it's coming from martial arts, and there are three stages of achieving mastery, starting from the shu, which is protect, obey, traditional wisdom, which means repetition, like playing your scales on the piano, doing katas in karate, repeating the basics over and over and over again. Lots of repetition may feel boring, but it's crucial. Next, you applying the fundamentals, it become more automatic, and there is a certain phase shift. Suddenly you can achieve things, and you start experimenting, doing exceptions, new approaches, and finally you leave, you separate, you transcend, and you develop your own approach. I think we, with AI, we are on the first step. We haven't definitely like went to the second and the third, but who knows, maybe in a few years we'll be there. This phrase is very famous. The lame man who keeps the right road outstrips the runner who takes the wrong one. So yeah, you need to know your direction. You need to know where you're going, and even if you do it slowly, you'll achieve more. So strategy beats talent, direction beats speed. And why I'm talking about this? Well, the world is changing, and many people are disoriented. Like, for example, you're a software engineer, and in 5 years, AI will be doing your job better, much better, 100 times better than you can. So what will you do? This already happened in many professions, like translation, for example. I have a friend who was doing translation professionally, and he lost almost all his clients. Or let's say telephone sales or customer service. It's completely goes to AI, and we'll see millions of truck drivers and many other professions will be outsourced. So it's just a matter of time. Of course, manufacturing, engineering, management, everything will go to AI. So what will we do? Uh, Next, probabilistic computing. Oh, I haven't finished this slide, so I will not talk about it, maybe next time. Next, there is a very good interview, Jordan Peterson and Joe Polish. Joe Polish is a self-made businessman, coach, multi-millionaire, amazing guy. He is interviewing Jordan Peterson, who is a psychology professor from Canada and a famous celebrity personality on YouTube. So it's a very interesting interview. I highly recommend. So what Jordan is talking about? One of the things, equity versus equality. So he criticizes the pursuit of equity because it implies equality of outcome rather than equality of opportunity and leads to societal losses. Entrepreneurial excellence. So he praises figures like Elon Musk and criticizes radical progressiveness, claiming moral superiority while harming the poor. Criticizes environmentalists, particularly in Europe, for causing poverty and without achieving environmental improvements. Emphasizes importance of sacrifice in personal and societal development. People see the world through stories. Important to choose the right story. Importance of consciousness, passion alone is not enough. Importance of community founded on shared sacrifice. Opportunities, prioritize, delegate, and build a strong team. Advice on public speaking and engaging with audiences, stressing authenticity, active engagement, taking risks. Search for meaning and purpose in your life. Strive for something greater. Embrace the adventure of life. Criticizes elites for attempting to control and manipulate population, advocating for individual sovereignty. Joe Polish usually does interviews for entrepreneurs, for business people, for creative people, and yeah, this is a very good interview. So highly recommend. Okay, Arena leaderboard looks approximately the same as last week. So on the top, again, O1, which is OpenAI, ChatGPT, OpenAI, Gemini is Google, One Mini, OpenAI, Lightning coming from China, from 01.ai, Grok is Twitter, it's Elon Musk, Gemini Google, Llama here, GPT-4 again OpenAI, Llama, and so on. So that's approximately how it looks. But what's interesting that the top is still OpenAI, and this is for English queries only, and this is for coding. And again, on the top we have O1, ChatGPT, so all three positions is OpenAI. Then we have Gemini, and then we have Claude. I use Claude a lot. I really like it. Anyway, this is, oh, okay, we have layoffs, but it was not updated on the layoffs FYI website. And this is me, and thank you.